NCAA qualifiers. And off we go, duel number one at 125. Carlin Gay alongside Chaz Polson is Roark taking on Douglas.
Yeah, a lot of action up front. Like you see a lot of times with the lighter weights, heavy on the head, both guys maintaining the center of the mat. Really want to see Douglas, and both guys get shots off early. That first takedown is so important. It sets the tone for not only the match, but the whole duel, getting your team behind you, scoring early. Let's see who can get it done.
Wyoming in the white uniforms here, and Sefton Douglas, of course, a sophomore this season, grew up around the mat as a coach's son and really around the Big 12 grind. So none of this is really a surprise to him. It's not eye-opening. A four-time Missouri State champion, two-time Fargo junior, and third-place finisher as well. He's faced a gauntlet. He is 0-5 against ranked opponents this season, trying to get his first victory against Brady Roark, who is ranked 19th right now at 125.
Yeah, some pretty good hand fighting going on. Not a whole lot of holding on. Both guys, again, even in this ear-to-ear position, they've been in a handful of times, but they've cleared out and have looked to score, just haven't quite pulled the trigger, either of these guys, quite yet. A minute and 30 seconds left in this first period.
Roark on the other side, a redshirt sophomore, Tiger-style invite champion. He's a relentless pace, a lot of hand fighting as you see here. Duel meets stud, 7-0 in duels. It's a signature win over a former Cowboy in Rory.
I got a head pinch going on here. Sorry to cut you off, Carlin. There's some action going on there, my man.
He's a quick strike scorer, is Roark.
Absolutely, Roark. In on that low single, Douglas able to fend it off and kind of get into this head pinch Merkel type position. Roark wise to it and escapes the position without being scored on. Under a minute now. That's probably the best attempt that we've seen out of Douglas so far. Really good fake. Front headlock position here now. Roark definitely doesn't want to let this position end in a stalemate. Douglas looks like he's happy to do so as he tries to come up to his feet. Roark keeping him down pretty good.
30 seconds to the end of the period. As you mentioned, Douglas doing a good job of staying away from Roark, who is someone that likes to get in there and be aggressive offensively.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty difficult for Roark to score with his arms so deep. You hear coaches harp on it all the time. And just like that, Douglas escapes that position, that disadvantaged position, by being able to hold on and get the stalemate. There's the man himself, Coach Mark Branch, in his 18th season, leading the Cowboys.
Winningest coach in Cowboy history. He's been the Big 12 Coach of the Year and also coached a bunch of NCAA finalists and multi-time All-Americans during his tenure, and coached a fellow commentator.
Yeah, Coach Branch. Coach Branch. A lot to say, a lot of positive things to say about that guy. Very tough, old school type coach. Double spikes in from Roark, keeping weight forward on the hands of Douglas. Douglas looking like he's trying to get up into that quad pod, tripod position. It's very difficult. Roark doing a good job of maintaining pressure on top and just keeps moving forward.
Oftentimes we start these periods and the wrestler on top normally cuts. Roark seemingly found a hard time in that first to get Douglas to the mat, so he's going to try to get some riding time here in the second.
Yeah, riding, especially at this level, Carlin, riding time, the ability to ride somebody is crucial. You know, being able to depend on that riding time point in tight matches really, really could boost confidence and, you know, tip the scales in your favor. Roark's doing an excellent job now getting a leg in. Just over a minute of riding time. That's right. And Douglas, again, it's not like he's not fighting. He certainly is. Roark just too much for him to handle on top to get the, as I say that, we get a good scramble opportunity out of Douglas. Goes underneath and Roark able to get out of it and maintain control on top. and he's very happy. He's probably very happy to stay here on the edge of the mat. Well, not a whole lot of actions going on, unless all of them is outside of that perimeter. That clock's just going to keep ticking down, and riding time's just going to keep ticking up.
Yeah, with less than 20 seconds to go here in the second period, a very dominant second period here by Roark, showing his prowess of being on top.
Interested to see the strategy that Roark has. I believe he has choice here. I'd imagine he's going to go down, although choosing top wouldn't be too crazy, as he just rode out Douglas for that whole period. Looks to his coaches for some guidance, and he chooses down. He doesn't think Douglas can ride him.
Still no score so far, but riding time heavily in favor of Roark. You'd imagine that he has that locked up at this point.
Yeah, Douglas would have to close out the period on top, which is going to be difficult, as Roark earns the reversal.
Yeah, 2-point reversal for Roark. And now Douglas going to have to be aggressive.
You know, a lot of action going on for the score to only be 2-0. But again, 3 with the riding time point. Roark now with the leg on looks. I would have to guess that this guy gets a little bit more aggressive as he feels more confident with this, essentially, what is a 3-point lead at this point. He's got his opponent broken down on his belly now, trying to break those hips over. Douglas doing a good job.
Really scraps that we've seen right now here through almost 3 periods. As the wrestler in command like Roark is, at what point do you just kind of shut it down and say, you know what, I'm going to take my 3 points and roll with the victory here?
Ideally, that never happens, right? You never want, especially one of your wrestlers, or you know, I'm thinking myself as a competitor, you always want to be the guy that's looking to score, no matter how much time's left on the clock. But easier said than done. You know, I've been in plenty of situations where, you know, I have the lead, and if I have the ability to just sit on top of a guy and make it look like I'm working, I would do it. You know, a win's a win. But
like
if your goal is to get better, then you're always ideally looking to score. Roark's doing a good job staying busy on top. He certainly is looking to score. It doesn't look like he's content with just this 3-point lead.
Less than 20 here in this first matchup between Roark and Sefton Douglas. Roark's done an incredible job of riding here.
Again, these situations, you know, getting the duel started off strong for your team. The bonus points are going to matter in a match like this, in a duel like this, where both teams are pretty competitive. You certainly want your wrestlers trying to score the whole time, the whole period. Roark, great job, gets the W.